Good evening, everyone. So this is, I guess, our fourth week of hybrid classes. So it's a learning curve, right? Thinking of the summer solstice, and I know that was yesterday, but it's still a long days, right? But I learned that the ancient practice of summer solstice was a very big event, and in lands around the world. And because it being the start of the summer and the longest day and more sun, it was a worship in a sense of the power of the sun, of the illumination of the sun, and the growing season and the harvest that's yet to come. So it was in celebration of all of that. And it was also a celebration of gratitude. So I think that we can think ourselves of some of the things in our lives. It could be very simple things like that smell of coffee or tea in the morning, that we can be grateful for, little things, tiny little things. Sometimes, no matter how difficult the situation is or how tough your day is going, you can always stop and think of what you might be grateful for, your kids, your grandkids, the flowers that are blooming outside. And with gratitude, when we practice gratitude, we always get more in return. The universe reciprocates with more of what we want. So let's close our eyes with that thought in mind and come inside. Focus on your breath. Notice the flow of your breath. Notice when you breathe in, the air coming through your nostrils is cool, that cool air. And when you exhale, it's warm. You're inhaling new life, prana, and you're letting go of everything you no longer need. When you exhale, you let go of your physical toxins and also the mental toxins, everything that gets in our way, right? And as you deepen each breath, think about breathing in gratitude. When you exhale, sharing it. Inhale, being grateful for this prana, this life force. Letting go on the exhale. Make your exhale long and slow. Return to your natural rhythm of breathing. And slowly open your eyes to take in the light. All right. So let's begin tonight from child's pose. So come into a child's pose. If you need something under your knees, just go right ahead and put a blanket on your mat and come to a child's pose. Have your arms stretched out overhead in extended child's pose. And just breathe here for a moment. Look up, look between your hands, and come onto your right fingertips, lifting your arm away from the mat. Thread your left arm under your right, look under your right arm. And walk your left fingers away to stretch your shoulder just a little bit more. If you'd like to bring your shoulder a little closer to the mat, lift your hips a little bit, and you'll get your shoulder down a little bit more, stretching it even more. Unthread your left arm, parallel arms. Come up onto your left fingertips and thread your right arm underneath your left. Look under your left arm. Walk your fingers away, stretching your shoulder. And come closer to the mat if you wish. Release your right arm, come back to parallel arms. Walk your fingers away just a little bit more and send your heels a little bit farther toward your hips, rather, a little bit closer to your heels to feel that stretch in your underarm. Just feel your whole upper arm stretching a little bit more. Then lift your hips, bring them forward, send your heart between your arms, and lengthen your legs behind you. Right, good. Inhale, send your hips back to your heels. We're not going to stay there very long. Inhale, lift your hips, come forward again, sending your heart between your arms. Exhale once more. Send your hips back toward your heels. Inhale, come forward. This time we're going to linger here for a little bit. Push the mat away from you. Push into the mat with your hands so that your shoulders don't shrug up to your ears. Use your abdominal muscles to help keep you from sagging in the middle. Turn under your toes, downward facing dog. So in your dog, your chest toward your thighs, your heels towards the mat. You're pushing the mat away from you with your hands energetically. There's no motion. You're just making that stretch a little longer. And then walk your dog by bending one knee and then the other, going back and forth. And when your heel comes close to the mat and your other knee is bent, feel the stretch in the back of your straight leg and continue that. So send your knee a little closer to the mat. Your heel a little closer to the mat. And then come back to your dog, come forward to plank, bring your knees to the mat. Send your hips back to your heels. Lift your hips, come forward. So right now we're in a variation of up dog. So make sure your shoulders, so you can your wrists are under your shoulders. So position your wrists under your shoulders and make an effort to send your heart between your arms. Then press in to the tops of your feet and lift your knees away from the mat for an up dog. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Bring your knees to the mat. Send your hips to your heels. Slide your hands to your knees. Come to stand on your knees. All right. Arms long by your side. Crown of your head reaching upward. So think mountain, right? Not mountain on your knees. Left arm goes up, fingers stretching towards the sky, right arm down, fingers to the mat. Look up at your left hand. On an exhale, look down at your right hand. So keep those arms active, fingers going in opposite directions. Inhale, look back up at the same time. We're opening up our neck here. Exhale, look down. Bring your left arm down. Let's do the other side. So right arm goes up, you reach for the sky with your fingers, reach for the floor with your left hand. On an inhale, look up at your right fingers as your arm stretches up. Look down on an exhale at your left fingers as they reach for the mat. And continue looking up and down a few more times. And then release, come back to center. Hands on your pelvis, on your hips, yeah? Down here, Susie, down a little bit more. So the purpose here is to keep your hips forward. You don't want them to move. So we're going to twist to the right, inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. So you're twisting just from your waist. You're keeping your pelvic bones straight forward, looking to your right. Come back to center, other side. Exhale when you twist. Inhale to center, again, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Come back to center. Release your arms and roll your shoulders the other way. And then relax, right? Let's have a hug. So bring one elbow over the other. So your arms aren't wrapped that far behind you. You want to keep your elbows one on top of the other. And notice which arm is on top. On an inhale, you're going to send your elbows up to the sky. Tiny little back bend. On an exhale, send them down toward your mat. Inhale up. Exhale down. Bring your elbows up to the height of your shoulders. Inhale, exhale, twist to the right. Inhale to center, exhale, other side. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Open your arms wide, give yourself a hug again, the other hand, other elbow on top. elbows up to the sky. Exhale, elbows to the mat. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Come to center and release your arms. Shake them out. All right. So when we're sitting, we do twisting, right? We twist from side to side. So we're going to do that now on our knees. So try and replicate what we do seated. So send your left hand to your right hip and look over your right shoulder. Allow your right arm to fold down, straight down, fingers pointing to the mat. On an inhale, lengthen your spine. On an exhale, see if you can twist after you're empty of breath a little bit more. And come back to center. All right, let's do the other side. So your right hand on your left hip or thigh, and turn to look over your left shoulder, getting taller on the inhale and twisting a little bit more after the exhale. And then come back to center. All right. So we're going to stay right where you are on your knees. Yeah. And yeah, use a blanket if you need to. Okay. Going to send your right leg straight out in front of you. All right. And you can use the blocks to help you do that, to give you help with your balance a little bit. And you're going to walk your right foot away, allowing a nice angle with your left thigh. Your quadricep muscles are your front thigh muscles. On an inhale, you're going to slide forward with your hips, your arms alongside your ears. Anjaneyasana. Exhale, straighten your leg, bring your hands to the mat, bow over your straight leg. And you can have it bent slightly if that's too much on your hamstrings tonight. Inhale, come up, bent knee, hips slide forward, arms to the sky. And using the blocks is an excellent idea. So you can come down to here instead of having to come all the way down to the mat to bow over your straight leg. I do have a block here. All right. And you're going to bend and rise up. Slide forward. One last time, bring your hands to the mat or a block or two. Straighten your leg, fold over your leg, your extended leg. And that leg is as straight as your knee allows. Come back up to bending your knee. Step back, bring your knee back where you found it. Right? Okay. Left leg comes forward. Take your time. Inhale, slide forward. Exhale, hands come down to the blocks or to the mat. Fold over your straight leg or your sort of straight leg. Inhale, rise up. Exhale. Fold and straighten. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One last time. Exhale. Come back up, bent knee. Stand up on your supporting right knee. Walk your foot back and bring your knee back to the mat. All right. Going to bring your hands to the mat and walk them to the top of your mat. To Send your hips forward and then send them to the left, send them back behind you. And then over to the right, we're going to make circles with our hips. Now your circles can be really big so that you come all the way to your heels when you're in back, or they can be small. Depends on your knees, really, right? And then when you are facing forward next, go the other direction. And then come forward. Send your hips to your heels. Slide your hands toward your knees. Open your wings out to the side. Rise up. Send your arms back behind you. Interlace your fingers for a back bend. Feel your heart wide open. It's what we need to feel gratitude. Gratitude. Release your arms. Bring your arms up overhead. Send your hips to your heels. Your hands to the mat for a pose of humility. Humble, showing humility. Open up your arms. Bring them up to the sky in a pose of praise. Send your arms back behind you. Interlace your fingers for a brave, wide open heart. And release. Come onto your hands and knees. So we're in Tabletadasana, and your wrists are under your shoulders, knees under your hips, and we're going to do some cats and dogs here, all right? So we begin with our inhale, our spine reaching down towards the mat. Our heart wants to come forward a little bit. Feel your tailbone reaching upward. Exhale, arch into a cat spine or Halloween cat. Inhale, switching the curve of your spine, and continue at your own pace. My favorite little mini vinyasa. And a vinyasa is anytime you go from one pose to the other in a flow, even if it's only two poses, with breath. So you're inhaling and exhaling in your cat. And continue. Next time you're in your cat spine, pause, send your hips to your heels. Come back up to table, right? Right leg back behind you on the ball of your right foot. You're going to lift your right foot just a bit, just a little bit, just enough so that you could cross it over your left. You're going to look over your left shoulder to find your left foot. Look forward, bring your right knee down to the mat. Slide your hands under your shoulders, bend your right knee. Either stay right here or reach back behind you with your left hand for your right foot and twist to the left. Release. Ball of your foot back on the mat, lift your knee away from the mat, lift your right foot, send it back across your left, bring your knee to the mat. All right, ready for the other side. Send your left leg back behind you. Good. Lift it just enough to cross over your left leg, ball of your foot on the mat. Look over your shoulder, find your foot. Come back to center. Lift, oh no, not yet. Bring your left knee to the mat, slide your hands under your shoulders. And why do I do that? One of the reasons is that that's a better position for balance. And the other is that when you bend your knee and reach for your foot, it's a little closer to you. And then open up to the right. And then release, bring your hands to the mat. Turn under your left toes, lift your knee away, lift your leg, cross back over, knees to the mat. All right. Send your right leg back behind you once again. Lift it hip high. Send your left arm alongside your left ear. And we're going to hold this for a few breaths. Bring your hand down, bring your knee down, other side. Left leg reaches out, lifts hip high. Right arm reaches forward. So you're sending your sole of your foot back behind you as if you just want to stand on the wall, and you're reaching with your fingers for the wall in front of you, stretching your body. Bring your hands down, bring your knee down, come to child's pose. All right, so while you're in child's pose, reach back with your arms back behind you and see if you can take your heels in your hands. And if you can't, just reach back and let your hands be alongside your feet. You're going to place the crown of your head on the mat near your knees. You're going to lift your hips and roll over the back of your head. For Sasangasana, the rabbit pose. And it allows you to open up your cervical spine, your neck spine. And then roll your head back over. And let's do that one more time. Head on the crown of your head on the mat. Lift your hips. Roll over the back of your head, opening up your neck. It's hard to talk like this. And then bring your hips to your heels. And come back up. All right, we're going to stand. Oops. So we're going to do an eagle. We're going to do eagle today. That's why we did all that work with our shoulders and our hips. Before we begin, if you have a block, bring it to the outside of your left foot. If not, you'll just bring your toe, maybe you have a pillow nearby, right? So first, we're going to do a little squatting, a little bending with our knees. So we're going to start slowly, very gradually, like you are ratcheting, you know? So a little bit and then straighten, a little bit more and then straighten, bend more and straighten. And then let's sit in our chair, send your arms in front of you and then straighten. Good. Let's do that again. Send your arms back behind you. Come sit in your chair, your arms in front of you. Right. If you have a block outside your left foot, when you cross your right leg over your left, you're going to put the ball of your foot on the block. Yeah. And then uncross, and I'll do that without the block this time. Sit in your chair. All right. So now you're going to cross your leg. You can let it float, or you can bring the ball of your foot down to the mat if you're having a problem with that balance. Yeah. Right. Excellent. Very good. And uncross. Release. Good. All right. Other side. The reason I like using the block is because it allows you to put your foot in exactly the right position that we want, and you get the feeling of your leg floating. All right, so let's try it with the block once. Come into your chair, cross right leg over left, put the ball of your foot on the mat. Left leg over right, sorry. Yeah, well, you knew. The other side. Right. And uncross. All right, without the block. Sit in your chair. The higher you cross your leg, the easier it is to wrap it. Yeah. And then uncross. Good. Good. All right. So now we're going to add the arms, right? Come into your chair, arms straight out in front of you. So let's see if we do the arms first or the legs first. Let's do the legs first. Cross. You can always put your toe on the mat. So right leg is over left. That means left arm over right. So you can have just the backs of your hands against each other, or step over your elbows and wrap your hands. Yeah, good. Good, good, good. And then squat down a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and then fly away. Okay, good. Come sit in your chair. Cross left over right. Right over left. Squat down. And then fly away. All right. Yeah, it's warm in here, very warm. So we're slow. I'll slow it down a little more. What's it say? Yeah, no, it's not going down. Okay, I will talk to Beverly in the morning. How you doing? Okay, all right. I know, I know. Sorry, Sherry, it's just hot in our room, so, okay, I'm going to slow this down a little. Okay. So we're going to try something a little different, but first, let's come into a tree. Right? We're going to do something with our eagle and a tree, but first come into a tree. And maybe you'll slide your foot up to your calf. Maybe you'll bring it up to your thigh, your choice. And grow your tree. Take a spot on the other side of the room, your dristi, yeah, your focal point. Right. And bring it down. Let's do the other side. So you come into your tree, you can always leave your toes right on the mat. Grow your branches. And bring it down. All right. So here's the challenging part. Okay, we're going to come into our eagle. Right over left, left over right. You're going to squat down. You're going to begin to come up. You're going to begin to straighten your legs, putting your weight on your left leg. You're going to open your wings and fly into the tree. Excellent. All right. And all right. Other side. So the trick is making sure your weight is on your supporting leg before you move into the tree. Come to your eagle, left over right, right over left, squat down. And then open your wings as you come to stand on your right foot. Ooh, I fell out. And come into your tree. Right, beautiful. And come on out. All right. All right. Let's do a nice slow flow. Come to your mountain. Well, let's start with our mountain first. Just start with your mountain. Crown of your head reaching to the heavens, feet rooted in the earth. Send your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Let your arms feel comfortably by your side. The majesty of the mountain. Inhale, gather. Exhale, bring that energy to your heart. Inhale, gather that beautiful, long sunshine. Oh, how many hours, and how many hours that is of sunshine. One more time. And bring it down. All right. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Send your right leg all the way back behind you, coming into a low lunge. Place your right hand under your right shoulder, your wrist under shoulder. Bring your left hand to your left thigh and twist, sending your belly button to your left thigh. Twist first before you extend your arm. And then bring your hand down. Step your left leg back, downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Back to down dog. Step your right foot forward. You can do that in 1, 2, or 3 steps. Then place your left foot flat on the mat for warrior 1 legs. Check that your legs are in proper alignment in their own tracks. Let your arms stream alongside your hips. And while you're doing that, square your hips off so that one hip isn't coming out to the side. And then reach down from the earth, bringing Virabhadra 1 up to life, bringing your warrior up. Feel your arms in a victory position. All warriors say a prayer before going into battle. Look up at your hands, your prayer. Bring your prayer to your heart. Send your arms back behind you. Interlace your fingers, sending your knuckles to the earth, opening up your heart, your grateful heart, your brave heart. Inhale, exhale, come forward, humble warrior, bhakti, devotional warrior. Inhale, exhale, bring the crown of your head towards the mat. Your knuckles can go straight back behind you or up to the sky. Press your feet into the mat. Let your knuckles lead you back up. Release your arms. Send your arms straight up overhead and then bring them down to the mat. Place your right hand inside your right leg. Step your left leg back behind you, warrior 2 legs. So you're going to swivel your left leg so that the arch or heel of your left leg is in line with the heel of your right leg. And then you're going to fan open to the left. You're going to press your feet into the mat. And you're going to use that pressure, you're going to use that force, your strength, to come right up into warrior 2. You go the other way. Peaceful warrior. Side angle stretch, Parsvakonasana. Straighten your leg, triangle. Back to warrior 2. Windmill your hand back down to the mat. Swivel your left foot into a low lunge. And then step it forward. Uttanasana, hang over. Fly out and up and down the center line. Okay. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Left leg back, low lunge. Left wrist under left shoulder. Bring your hand to your thigh, twist to your right thigh. And then extend your leg, your arm, sorry. Bring your hand back down, step your right leg back, downward facing dog. Step your left leg between your foot, between your hands. Place your right foot flat on the mat for warrior one legs. Arms stream alongside your hips, square your hips, crown of your head reaching forward. And then bring your warrior up from the earth. Remember, your knee doesn't go past your ankle. Say a prayer. Bring that prayer to your heart. Send your arms back behind you, interlace your fingers, brave heart. Inhale, exhale, humble warrior. Inhale, exhale, devotional warrior, Bhakti Virabhadrasana 1. Press your feet into the mat. Let your knuckles lead you back up. Release your arms. Send your arms up and bring your hands down to the mat. Your left hand inside your left leg. You're going to step your right foot into warrior two position. And you're going to fan open to the right. You're going to press your feet into the mat and come up to your warrior two. Excellent. Right. Peaceful warrior. Side angle. And don't put pressure, and I should have said this on the other side, with your forearm on your thigh. In fact, allow your arm to dangle here. If you have a block, you could bring it to a block. Straighten your leg, triangle. Back to warrior two. Windmill your hands down to the mat, low lunge. Step your right foot forward, Uttanasana. Bring your hands to the mat and come all the way down onto the mat. When you get there, come to sit with your legs stretched out in front of you. Inhale your arms up, bend your knees slightly. Inhale, exhale, hinge from your hip joint. engage your abdominal muscles as you hinge over your extended legs. Straighten your legs. Paschimottanasana, the Western stretch. The back of our body is the west, the front is the east. So this is exposing our Western side. Look up, bring your arms alongside your ears and unhinge. Bring your arms down. Wow. Arms straight out in front of you, palms facing each other. And slowly make your way down to the mat, very slowly. As slow as you can do this without slapping your back onto the mat. Down really slowly. As long as you don't hit your back down, it's okay. All right. Legs stretched out. Bring your feet to the mat. Walk your heels a little closer to your hips. Keep your knees in line with your hips, in line with your heels. Arms alongside your body. We're going to come to a bridge. So you're going to press your feet into the mat. Your arms will help you, and lift your hips up to the sky. Your sternum, your breastbone's coming toward your chin. You're going to press your upper arms into the mat a little bit. Maybe you'll lift a little higher. Maybe you want to interlace your fingers, yoga mudra, under your hips to come a little higher. And release your arms and roll back down onto the mat. All right. Feet on the mat. You're going to lift your hips. If you have a block or a blanket, slide it underneath your sacrum, just below your waist. And send one leg up and then the other. All right. So imagine that your legs are against a wall, so that's where they should be positioned. So this is legs against the wall, an imaginary wall. This pose allows the excess fluids to drain. It actually slows your heart rate just a bit to get you into a relaxed state, of cool state. It releases endorphins, you know, the hug hormone. And you can come out of this anytime. And then bend your knees, bring your feet to the mat, lift your hips if you have anything underneath, and make your way into Shavasana. Feel your whole back body giving in to gravity, connecting to the earth. Follow your breath as you lie in this pose of relaxation. Don't change it, just follow it. Om Namah Shivaya. I surrender to transformation. And I welcome the changes that will lead me to who I am. Take a deep breath. Begin to reawaken your body. Roll your head from side to side. Make gentle movements with your hands and your feet. Send your arms overhead, back behind you, your feet in the opposite direction for a big full body stretch. And then bring your knees into your chest, hug them, and roll from side to side. Release them, and then roll over on to your right side, your sun side, the sun side of your body, to expose the moon side to prepare you for the evening ahead. And bring your hands to your heart. Come up to sit first. the way of saying thank you or I am grateful in Sanskrit is DhanyaVad, DhanyaVad. But it means something much more deeply than just a thank you or just an I am grateful. It means I feel gratitude deep inside. So thank you so much. DhanyaVad.